We had been in Townsville for 18 months, living on Dreamtime. Both working at James Cook University to build up the funds for more cruising. And of course, the necessary boat maintenance. Many weekends sailing around to Horseshoe Bay on Magnetic Island. And racing Dreamtime to Dunk and other islands. A riotous fancy dress New Year's Eve party at Dunk Island. Then, in July 1976, we had set off cruising in Dreamtime again. First back down to Airlie Beach in the Whitsundays. To take parents for a trip around the Whitsunday Islands. Then slowly north to Cairns, exploring new areas along the way. And finally, to a pile berth across from the Cairns Yacht Club. Now we were off again from Cairns to Lizard Island. Our friend David joined us and invented a new way to cut up onions. With David on board, we headed off to Green Island, a very touristy coral dive spot. While I was snorkelling, a glass-bottom boat came by. So for a lark, under the boat, I waved up at the tourists. I hope it gave them a laugh. From Green Island, skirting reefs around to Michaelmas Reef and Cay. A small key or island at the end of the long Michaelmas Reef. We found the key or island covered with thousands of nesting Sooty Terns.
August the 26th, 1976 that is, Michaelmas Cay, Sooty Tern colony. Standing here on Michaelmas Cay in the middle of a colony of nesting Sooty Terns. From the background din you can tell that it's a fairly rowdy place.
For an in-depth visual of the nesting, see my separate full video. Sooty Terns nesting on Michaelmas Cay near Cairns, Queensland. While at Michaelmas, I had to do a minor rescue. Mach 1 travelling at Mach 0.003, under tow with 2 horsepower outboard. Broken down engine, a tow to shore. To Low Isles, offshore northeast from Port Douglas. Anchoring in the lee of Woody Island. Low Isles to Cooktown. Anchoring near the town centre. The old 19th century Sisters of Mercy Convent School building. It became the Cooktown Museum. Cooktown had a large influx of Chinese during the Palmer River Gold Rush. Of course, the main exhibits were of Cook and the Endeavour. One of the cannons jettisoned to lighten ship after hitting a coral reef. Historical representation painting in the local pub. With caricatures of the current patrons we met, woven in. To Lizard Island, overnighting at Cape Flattery along the way. Anchoring at beautiful Watson's Bay Beach. We had a beer at the exclusive Lizard Island Resort. Lizard Island, aptly named by Cook after the inhabitants he met. One view on our hike up to Cook's Look, 1,175 feet high. Last three shots joined for a panorama. The Australian Museum Lizard Island Marine Research Station. Around to the Lizard Lagoon. Anchoring at South Island. The lagoon entrance is narrow between shallow reef sections. Cook's Look, the mountain that Cook climbed. Then saw he was surrounded by extensive reef patches. And so he decided to head for open ocean. Some of the reef near our anchorage in Watson's Bay. Biggest clam we had ever seen. Then it was back to Cairns. One of the stops along the way was the Bloomfield River. We anchored in the river near Bloomfield and dinghied up to the shallow headwaters. David tried his skills at throwing my cast net. Back into Cairns to prepare for the Pacific sailing cruise. The next adventure is the start of a 15-month sail around the Southwest Pacific, Melanesia.